back, Firewood Addicts, to another episode of Travis Does Firewood. And today we're talking about this load of logs. Alright. So, two things. How do you like the mustache? Nay or yay? Figured I'd ask. Anyway, that in, I got hoodies. I two made for myself for an event coming up. You'll be hearing about that soon. I don't really have merch, but I just wanted to. That's pretty cool. On the back, I got the logo from the. You can't see it right now, but it's a logo for the podcast. Anyway, so I got some logs dropped off in my driveway, and they're kind of all over the place. They did not go as planned. I'll talk about that in a minute. But how I got the logs. First off, I'm gonna say I have a lot of wood in the yard. It's a good thing. Turn around here. We have the fruitwood in the distance there. I still have the maple that I haven't split yet. That's over there. And I'm in the distance there. Way over there, we have that cedar, and that's been there for a while. So, but this came up on my radar, and I had to say yes to it. And I had to say yes to it. Of all the places, it came from Craigslist. Craigslist, I think, is for boomers who use Craigslist. That's just my opinion, but I do have certain saved keywords on Craigslist. This came up, and it was in my hometown. I messaged the guy right away via text. I said, interested. It was for alder and fir, and it was going to be in rounds. There's pictures. So and he was going to come either that day or the day following. It turned out to be the day after that, so it was a wait, not a big deal. I had cedar on the tarps here in the driveway, and had to quickly get that all processed so I could have the guy drop whatever he was going to drop in the driveway, because a lot of people can't back down this hill in the driveway that I had wood there in the way. So he messaged me saying, "Hey, I'm on my way." I said, "Rock and roll. I'm ready for you." And then I asked for a picture just to see what it is, and there were logs. I said, "Logs, perfect, awesome. I prefer logs." And I was thinking, like, this load here, if it's going to be in rounds, I'm sure it was going to be all over the place. It's going to be from 1822 down to 5, 8, 10 inches. So a lot of it was going to be small splits that I do sell. I can sell. It is what it is. But logs, I'll take all day long. That way, again, I can ensure quality. I can ensure that they're going to be bucked up at 16 and split how I want to be split. It's ideal. So he came in. I had it all ready. A nice guy. So as I tell the story, I'm telling the story. The guy may be watching this episode. He may be. But I'm not accusing fault. I'm not blaming him. I'm not poking fun. I'm just saying, with the topic of the episode, I'm just saying that, okay? The guy seemed like a nice guy. I won't name his name, and I hope to do business with him in the future to help each other out. But I'm just saying that. Anyway, back to my story. Came in, and I saw in the trailer that the logs weren't dropped, stacked like properly. They weren't in the trailer like on top of each other. They're kind of in there wonky, like in sideways. And I'm going to try to get the footage of it for my door camera here.
You good?
They dropped it, and they came out, and they rolled sideways. The one's up in the air. This one almost hit my shrub brushes. This one just barely touched it. When I had the tarp down, I had these cedar blocks kind of like in a row, kind of in case the wood came down and rolled. Well, good thing I did, because it blocked the wood from rolling down too far. One came down, rolled all the way down the hill, and ended up down here, which is a bummer, because it almost nicked my heat pump. Almost nicked it. It just came down, and it rested, oddly enough, on these propane tanks, which is kind of weird. Yes, I have propane tanks here. It is what it is. Don't judge me. But yeah, it came down this far, rolled down the hill, and turned. But when you have a load of wood coming off a trailer, you're not going to get in the way. This thing could crush you. This is a big log right here. That's massive. So So that's the story there. So the point of the episode, I mean, I got some logs and I want to share with you. But the point of the episode, when you're loading a trailer like that, stack them nice and neat in parallel. Don't have anything at an angle or cockeyed or whatever else. Stack them nice. Because you never know what's gonna happen when you drop it. It could be dangerous. It could harm property. Even if it hit my property or hit the heat pump or a fence, it's not his fault because he's on my property dumping it, type thing. Or at least that's my opinion, and I would not fault him for that because he's dropping off a good services for me to be able to utilize. Anyway, so that's the story of that. Of like the topic at hand. Stack properly. If you don't know how to use a track hoe or a tractor, a loader skidster, learn how or get someone in the bucket. Again, I'm not saying the person who did that was at fault. I'm not saying the guy who dumped it off is at fault. I'm not blaming. I'm just saying be careful when you're loading a trailer because you don't know how it's going to come out. So he said it was fir and alder, totally fine. And I think the alder is, I'm not sure which is which, but when he came in, it smelled like Christmas. So you smell these needles here. Yeah, this is the fir here. And the fir, I was showing pictures to my buddies at the PNW club, and they confirmed that this is not your regular, like, Doug fir. This is going to be like noble fir, which people in my area, which I don't know in your area if you had this too, but noble fir is what you can get as a Christmas tree or holiday tree for Christmas time to decorate, right? You cut it down, it's like 8 feet tall or 10 feet tall, whatever it is. These ones were left and they got big. This is the big tree, but they seem to be, I mean, not too bad. I look forward to sinking my chainsaw into these rounds. I mean, these are some. This is what a big tree or two trees here. I mean, look at that. That's big. So I am in the process of sharpening my clone saw and getting my saws ready to go. I wish the trees had more limbs de-limbed off of it, but again, I'm not going to complain. This is free. I offered the guy some gas and lunch money. He said he didn't want to take it, which is cool. Yeah, I think this one. So I think that's for. I think this is one of the alders here because the bark's a little bit different. And if I smell it, yeah, I can't tell. I think this is alder, and these are the noble. And then their guy snuck in one cottonwood log here, and that's fine. I'll take cottonwood. Told him that I do sell cottonwood. So I told the guy that I saw one of his trucks locally, and I took a picture of their logo, and I was going to contact them for some free wood to be dropped off, type thing. And he said, yeah, he has guys in my area sometimes, but he's based at the same spot as one of my viewers and subscribers who I bought the cord of wood of fir down there that I'm slowly selling. He lives in the same area, and he said, I got a bunch of rounds and wood on his lot because I guess when he does his tree service work, if he can't find someone local to dump it or offload it, he'll just take it home and then he dumps it on his property. So he has mountains, I guess, of rounds and stuff, including some good hardwood like a Madrona, and he offered me to come up there with a trailer, grab what I want, and go. And then at that time, I could buy him a beer. So I could totally do that. So I'm all for that type of like relationships in terms of having to help each other because I'm sure he has a lot that he wants to get rid of. I'm always good for free wood, so I may do that soon. We'll see how it goes, but I definitely have a lot of wood in the wood yard. Now it's just time to process it, to have it be bucked up, split, stacked, rock and roll. So this is going to be probably next winter's wood, or if I can get it dried. I'm thinking about getting a kiln or having to make one myself. If you have any ideas or suggestions about a kiln to get this wood dry faster, let me know down in the comments. I'm curious about it. Someone reached out to me and they're selling a homemade kiln in a neighboring town for a few $100s, but it was, what was it? It was like 5 feet by 5 feet by like 12 feet long, and it was well built, and it seemed to be very efficient in terms of power use. But how am I going to transport that, and where am I going to put it in my property? I have space for firewood, but I don't have space for a kiln. Like, that seems, I don't know, but I need to figure out something. So, free wood in the wood yard, happenstance. When you have the opportunity to get free wood, or even you need to pay $20, $40 for a load like this is not going to be a cord of wood. It's going to be something. It's definitely substantial, but log form, you can't beat that. So, I guess one of the morals of the story is, if you have access to free wood, just say yes. Figure out where to put it, where it's going to be dropped. Later on, you can deal with having to process, having to cut it up, and get it split. But when you have free wood available and it's going to be delivered to your property, I mean, it's a no-brainer to me. Like, just say yes, get the wood, be grateful, and see if they can come back. So I gave him he has my number, this guy, and if he's in the area again, he's gonna let me know. He said that his guys have a load of cedar, perhaps local in my area. I said, I'm not so sure. I have a lot of cedar on me right now, but I told him that I don't want to say no to free wood because I want yes to be always in his mind in the future. So, free wood in the wood yard, rock and roll. Definitely excited about this. I think this red stuff, maybe this red, the alder. I think my buddy David was saying red alder when it gets cut up, it turns red. So I think this is the alder here, some pieces, and then the rest would be the fir, and this would be the cottonwood, which the bark isn't too thick on this. I'm not sure if I can sell the bark on this cottonwood, but that's not too shabby. That's not too shabby. But yeah, this is the load here. So it could have been a lot more dangerous. Could have been caused a lot of more damage with this load being dropped, but it didn't happen. I'm happy about that. Glad it's just happenstance. I should not have been dumped so far down the hill because I'm kind of at the cusp of the hill and not on the flat area type thing. But yeah, load carefully when you're loading a truck or trailer with logs. Make sure that they're all facing one direction and nothing that is diagonal type thing. That, and when you have access to free wood, just say yes. The answer is yes. Anyway, that's the short video just for today for you all. I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Until next time, remember, life is too short to be a prick. So be kind to one another. The platinum rule. Rock and roll. Stay safe and keep cutting. Cheers.